Hello everyone, good morning all of you. Welcome to you all in today's first online session of the revision. Now today we are going to do the revision of chapter number 5 and the name of our chapter number 5 is The Way Looks Around and the chapter number 6. The name of chapter number 6 is The Junk Seller. So let us begin our this session with chapter number 5, that is The Way Looks Around. So in this session first we are talking about the direction. As you know already, there are total 4 directions: north, south, east and west. If you want to tell any route of one place to another place, then we are using some of the words like turn left. If you are here in the first figure, if you are here, then you have to turn left. If you are here and you just go straight, now you see that here this is your left hand side. So if you want to move left side, then you are using word turn left. If you are here and you are going the straight way and you want to take right hand side turn, then you are telling that turn right. If you are here and you have to just go straight, then you are using go past. If you want to cross this section, so you are using that the word cross. Now something here at the corner, like this, like this, like this and like this, then you are using the word at the corner. If we are here and the place where we have to go is just next to this thing, next to any of the shop, then you are using word next to. If we are standing here and the place that we have to go, that is here, then we are using the word opposite. If our place is here and you can see that our place is between this and this, first and the third, then we are using word between. You can see here the word at the corner that already we studied, the next to, opposite and between. These all are the some words that we are using to indicate or to explain any of the route. So let us see. Here you have to write down the direction for going home from Ismaili's house to Srijata's house. So see here it is the Ismaili's house and here it is Srijata's house. What you want to write down? You want to write down the direction from Ismaili's home to Srijata's house. So what we have to write down first? See here, you have to see the route from Ismaili's house. So Ismaili's house is here. So from the Ismaili's house, what we have to do? We have to go straight. Here we are going straight. After that, if you are here, then this is your right hand side and this is your left hand side. So after coming out from Ismaili's house, you have to take first right turn. See here, what is the meaning of go straight? Go straight means like this also. But after going straight, we have to say that you have to take first right turn. When you are taking the first right turn, at that time you can see there is one bridge. So you have to say that first go straight, then take first right turn. After that, they have to go straight, or we can say that after cross bridge. When they are cross the bridge, at that time this is the right hand side, and after crossing, when they reach at this crossroad, this is your their right hand side and this is their left hand side. So what they wants to do, when they reach at the crossroad, they have to take left turn. When they are taking the left turn, they see that there are two crossroads. First one is this and the second one is this. So after taking a left turn, first crossing and second crossing, when they reach at the second crossing, you can see there is milk booth. So we can say that at the second crossing, after reaching the milk booth, now when they are reached the milk booth, this is their right hand side and this is their left hand side. What they have to take? They have to take right turn. After taking right turn, they have to cross about 100 meters, or you can say approximately meters, and there reach the Srijata's house. Now we can say that after taking right turn, go straight for some of the meters. When they cross or when they take turn right hand side, at which side, your left hand side or your right hand side Srijata's house is there. So we can say that after about the 100 meters you will reach at the Srijata's house, which is on left hand side. When you are standing here at Srijata's nearer Srijata's house, so this is your right hand side and this is your left hand side. So which side the Srijata's house is there? So we can say that Srijata's house on the left hand side. Like this way you have to explain the direction. I hope you understand this thing. Now let us see what is the meaning of opposite. If two lines do not have common endpoint, then that line is known as opposite side. See here. Here you can say that, see that this is the first line and this is the second line. This is the third and this is the fourth. If two lines do not have a common endpoint, see here, this first line and this second lines, they have a common endpoints? No, this line do not have the common endpoints. So this both side is known as opposite side. You can see here first, second, third and fourth. These are the four endpoints. And see here in this, you can see this is the opposite side. So this first one, these both are the opposite side and these both are the opposite side. Now see the concept of dice. This opposite side we have to apply in this dice. Everyone, you have to remember one thing, that in a dice, the sum of the opposite side of the dice is always 7. This is one thing, is that if you want to make a perfect dice, Then the concept for the perfect dice is that always the sum of the opposite side of the dice is always 7. Then opposite side of the top. See here, which number lies on the top? Number 4. So what is the opposite side of the top view? That is of the bottom view. If there is number 4 on the top, then which number in the bottom? So we can say that in the bottom there is number 3. Why there is number 3 only? Because the sum of the opposite side of a dice, that is the 7. So if now one number is 4, then which number added in 4? Then we are getting number 7, 3. So in the top, if there is a 4, then in the bottom there is number 3. Now you can see what is the opposite side of the front view. The opposite side of the front view is the back view. So if you can see here in this, if there is number 1 in the front side, then in the back side which is the number? So 1 plus dash is equal to 7. So if in the front view there is a number 1, then in the opposite side, means in the back side, there is number 6. Now both the side view, that is already opposite to each other. The things which is on left hand side and the things which is on the right hand side, these both are the opposite side of each other. For example, if there is a number 6 on the front side, so on the back side, which is the number? There is number 1. So there is some pairs for the number 7. That already we know that 1 plus 6 is equal to 7. Then 2 plus 5 is equal to 7. And then 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. Now let us see about the box multiplication. Here you have to solve this sum 32 multiplied by 12. You are not supposed to do the multiplication. This sum you have to solve with the help of box multiplication. Whenever you have to solve any sum with the help of the box multiplication, compulsory you have to write down first the expand form of both the number. So expand form of 32, that is the 30 plus 2, and the expand form for 12, that is the 10 plus 2. Now this number is of 2 by 2, so you have to draw one box. In that box 2 rows are there and in that box 2 columns are there. Now what you want to do? You have to write down the expand form of the first number on the top side. So that is the 30 plus 2. So in a first you have to write down 30 and in a second you have to write down 2. Now the expand form of next number, that is the second number that we have to write down on side. So the expand form of 12 is 10 plus 2. So 10 and then we have to write down 2. Now what we have to do in the first box? We have to write down, we have to do the multiplication in the first box of 30 multiplied by 10. So write down here 30 multiplied by 10. What is the answer? 30 multiplied by 10. That is the 300. Now do the multiplication in the second box. Whose multiplication we have to do? In the second box, we have to do the multiplication of 10 multiplied by 2. So 10 twos are, or we can say that 2 tens are. 2 tens are 20. Now in the third box, whose multiplication we have to do? In the third box, we have to do the multiplication of 2 and 30. 2 multiplied by 30, that is the 30 multiplied by 2, or we can say that 2 multiplied by 30. 30 2s are 60. Now in the last box, whose multiplication we have to do? In the last box, we have to do the multiplication of 2 and 2. 2 2s are 4. So write down 2 multiplied by 2. 2 2s are 4. Now first in the box multiplication we are write down the expand form. After that we are draw the boxes for that, and then we write down the expand form on the top and on the side. Then we do the multiplication one by one in each box. Now in the last step, what we have to do? In the last step, we have to add all the answers of the multiplication. Means what? The answer of 30 multiplied by 10, that is the 300. Then answer of 2 multiplied by 10, that is the 20. Then the multiplication of 30 2s are 60 and 2 2s are 4. So what you have to do? You have to add these all answers, means 300 plus 20 plus 60 and plus 4. These all we have to add. 30 plus 20 plus 60 plus 4. The addition of these all is 384. So the answer of this number, that is the 32 multiplied by 12, is 384. Let us see one another example. Now you can see here there is the multiplication of 3 digit multiplied by 1 digit. So the rules are same. First we have to write down the expanded form of 145. The expanded form of 145 is 100 plus 40 plus 5. Now the expanded form of 8 is only 8, so you don't want to write down the expanded form of 8. Now here how many digits are there? 3 digits are there. So we have to just make 3 box. 1, 2 and 3. Now we have to write down all the expanded form. In a one box you have to write down 100, then 40 and then 5. Now which number we have to write down? The second number we have to write down on the side, and our second number is 8. So we have to write down here 8. Now in this box what do we have to do? In this box we have to do the multiplication of 100 multiplied by 8. So 100 multiplied by 8 is 800. Now in this box whose multiplication we have to do? In this box we have to do the multiplication of 4040 multiplied by 8. So 40 multiplied by 8. The easy way is that you have to do first the multiplication of only and only of the digits. So we have to do the multiplication of 4 and 8 only first. So 4 8s are 32 and 1 0 is there. So after 32 just write down 1 0. That is the 320. Now in the last box what we have to do? In the last box we have to do the multiplication of 8 and 5. So 8 5s are 40. Now the another step is that after the multiplication of the numbers, what we have to do? We have to add all the answers of multiply. So this 800, 320 and this 40. This is the answer of multiplication. So we have to add these three numbers in each other. 800 plus 320 plus 4040. So the answer is 1160. So whenever you are doing the multiplication of 145 multiplied by 8, at that time your answer is 1160. Now our next topic is that you have to find out the number of knots. Like here I am asking you how many notes of rupees 20 make a rupees 180. Now to make 180 rupees you have to use only and only 20 rupees note. If you are using only and only of the 20 rupees note, then how many notes are required? Whenever you have to find out the number of notes, and after that if you want to use only and only one note, then what you want to do at that time, the formula is that if you want to find out the number of notes, then what do you want to do? First you have to write down the total money. In this sum our total money is 180 rupees. Total money divided by the money of one note, or we can say that the currency that we have to use to make the total money that we have to write down. So in this sum our total money is 180 divided by which note we have to use? We have to use the currency, or we can say that the notes of 20. Do the division. In the table of 20, where is 180? So we can say that 20 nines are 180. Or in another way, you just cut this both 0. Now how many 2s are 80? 9 2s are 80. So how many notes of rupees 20 makes rupees 180? So we can say that 9 notes. 180 divided by 20 is equal to 9 notes. Now see the same one, but something is different. In this you have to find out also number of notes, but in this we are using many different types of notes. See here, the question is that how many notes of rupees 500, 100 and 5 makes rupees 620? Means here you have to make total money, that is a 620. To make this money you have to use compulsory different notes, and which note you have to use, that they were given. You have to use the notes of rupees 500, the notes of rupees 100, and then you have to use the notes of rupees 5. So this sum we are not supposed to solve like the previous question. So how we can solve this? So first you know that the total money is 620. From this you have to subtract first big note, that is of rupees 500. So we are just subtract rupees 500 from this total money. After subtracting 620 minus 500, how many rupees is remaining? 120 rupees is remaining. Now after that we are not supposed to use rupees 500 notes. So after that which note we have to use? We have to use the notes of rupees 100. So subtract 100, the note of 100 we have to subtract from 120. After subtracting this both, the answer is 20 rupees. Now we are not using 100 rupees note and 500 rupees note to make 20 rupees. Now to make the 20 rupees, how many notes are required of rupees 5? First we are using one note of rupees 500. Then after we are using one note of rupees 100. Now how many notes are required to make rupees 20? In the table of 5 where we are getting number 25 fours are. So these 4 notes to make rupees 20. So how many notes we are using of rupees 5? So we can say that we are using 4 notes of rupees 5 to make rupees 20, or these all are the different types of notes and the number of notes to make the 620 rupees. Now, one topic about the interest that already we studied. Let us revise it. What is the interest? If you borrow some money to the other person or lend, if you borrow or you lend some money to the other person, after some time when he returns that money to you, or you return that money to the another person, at that time you are giving some extra amount. So this extra amount is known as interest. First, that is the amount. Amount means you are lending some of the money or you are borrowing some money from the other person. Now amount with interest, it means what? When you return or that person return that money to you. At that time he give such more amount as compared to the borrowing amount or lending amount. That amount is known as amount with interest. Now, if you want to find out the amount of interest, then how you are getting it? Let us see. If you are borrowing rupees 500 and when you return that money, at that time you are returning rupees 570. Means you are giving some extra amount at the time of the return. So how much you pay extra? That we have to find out with the help of amount of interest. If you want to find out the amount of interest, then how you can find out? From the amount with interest, you have to subtract the amount. Means from this 570, what you have to do? You have to subtract this rupees 500. So rupees 570 minus rupees 500 is equal to rupees 70. Now if you lend some money, that is the 956, after returning it, they return to you 1050, and you have to find out the amount of interest. How you can find out? From this amount with interest, you have to subtract the amount. So do the subtraction. 1015 minus 956, that is the rupees 59. So this 59 is known as interest. Then after rupees 723, that is your amount, and the amount with interest, that is the 852. If you want to find out the amount of interest, then how you can find out the amount of interest? Do the subtraction of 852 minus 723, that is the 129. This 129 is known as the amount of interest. Then another one is, if your amount is 1232 and the amount with interest is 1339. Now you have to find out the amount of interest. How you can find out the amount of interest? By subtracting 1339 and 1232. So your amount is 107. So this 107 is known as the interest. Now the amount is 2009 and the amount with interest is 2246. By subtracting this both amount, you are getting the amount of interest. So when you are doing the subtraction of 2246 minus 2009, your answer is 237. So this rupees 237 is known as the amount of interest. Now the another topic is that of profit or loss. What is profit? What is loss? If you buy something and after that you sell that thing, if you buy that thing in less price and when you sell it at that time you are getting somewhat more amount as compared to the buying price, then that price is known as profit. But at the time of the selling you are getting some less amount as compared to the buying price, then in that transaction there is a loss. So let us study. Buying price means you buy that thing. Selling price means what? You sell that thing. Now first you have to decide that in that transaction, in that thing, there is a profit or loss. After deciding there is a profit or loss, you have to find how much. If the buying price is rupees 35 and the selling price is rupees 40, means you buy anything from 4 rupees 35 and when you sell it at that time you sell that thing at rupees 40, means you are getting some extra amount. Yes, so in this transaction there is a profit. And profit of how much? Whenever you have to find out the amount of profit or amount of loss, what do you want to do? You have to just do the subtraction. So you have to subtract 40 rupees minus 35 rupees. So 5 rupees. That is the profit. Now if your buying price is rupees 135 and the selling price is rupees 165, in this also our selling price is more than our buying price? Yes. So in this transaction also there is a profit. And profit of how much? 165 minus 135. So 165 minus 135 is equal to rupees 30. So in this transaction there is a profit of rupees 30. When you buy anything for rupees 185 and you sell it at rupees 210, in this transaction also you are getting more amount? Yes. So in this transaction there is a profit. And profit of how much? If you want to find out the amount of profit, you have to subtract the selling. So you have to subtract 185 rupees from rupees 210. So 210 minus 185, that is the rupees 25. If your buying price is rupees 390 and the selling price is rupees 325. Now see here in this, your buying price is more than your selling price, means at the time of the selling you are getting less amount. So we can say that in this transaction there is a loss. And loss of how many rupees? So for that you have to subtraction big amount minus small amount, means you have to do the subtraction of 390 minus 325. 390 minus 325 is equal to 65 rupees. So in this transaction there is a loss of rupees 65. Now your buying price is rupees 270, your selling price is rupees 246. In this also you are getting the less amount at the time of the selling. So in this transaction also you have loss, and loss of how much? Do the subtraction of big amount minus small amount, means buying price minus selling price. 270 minus 246 is equal to rupees 224. I hope you understand these all things. So do revision. Thank you.